taken unless first offered to Krishna, you have committed a serious offense. The child became greatly contrite and immediately vowed never again to eat mangoes. In later years, after he had become an acknowledged spiritual leader, he was often offered mangoes, but he always refused, saying, I am an offender. And quoted, Isha vasyam idang sarvang yat kincha jagatyang jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma gridha kasya svidhanam. Everything within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Therefore, one should only accept those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. Even in Bimala's childhood, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur made chanting compulsory for him. In 1881, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had tulsi beads brought from Puri for Bimala and instructed him in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on them. He also initiated Bimala into a mantra for worshipping Lord Nrsingadev. That same year, a Kormadev Shalagram Shila was unearthed while he was building a house to be named Bhakti Bhavan in the Rama Bagan neighborhood of Calcutta. Can you imagine they're in Calcutta digging to build a house and there's a Shalagram Shila in the ground? Although according to social custom, a thus discovered Shalagram Shila or deity of Vishnu should be presented to a member of the Brahmana caste, as only born Brahmanas were considered fit to worship such forms, Thakur Bhaktivinoda responded to Bimala's desire to worship that Shila and taught him the process and appropriate mantras. From that time, Bimala started wearing tilak and following other standard devotional practices, marking his formal entry into Vaishnava Dharma. While still very young, Bimala composed 2 Sanskrit verses describing the impression of Lord Chaitanya's feet melted in stone within the Jagannath temple. The gist being that Mahaprabhu's heart was so tender in distributing love of Krishna and so distressed at the unhappiness of others that even the stone where he placed his lotus feet became soft and melted with love. Bimala Prasad was clearly not an ordinary boy. He had an exceptional ability to remember and comprehend all kinds of topics. His voracious reading and his ability to exactly recall passages he had read once only were to earn him the epithet living encyclopedia. Even in his last days, he could reproduce verbatim any part of any book he had read 50 years back. His precocious genius was accompanied by a gravity and intensity of purpose uncommon at such a tender age. Like Prahlad Maharaj and other great child devotees before him, Bimala Prasad did not waste time in frivolous sports or similar nugatory diversions. From the beginning, he was absorbed in fulfilling the mission of human life and spontaneously attracted to Krishna Bhakti. I want to see if nugatory is back here. Yeah. It might not be. Nugatory means worthless. Nugatory. We have to use, everyone here, how many people could promise we're going to use Yugatory 3 times today? Don't make me watch that Nugatory TV show. I'm not going to go to that Nugatory place. All right. Nugatory. N-U-G-A-T-O-R-Y. It's funny, I wonder the derivation, because nougat is kind of like nice candy, but it probably doesn't mean that.
So it's worthless.
Yes. If it's not offered to the deity first. He was 4 years old when he did that. He took a mango and then he wouldn't eat mango the rest of his life. Not more than 4. From the beginning, he was absorbed in fulfilling the mission of human life and spontaneously attracted to Krishna Bhakti. Sri Bihari Das Babaji, the personal servant of Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, described young Bimala, quote, I often saw Srila Bhakti Siddhanta in his childhood in Calcutta at the house of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur whenever I visited there with Babaji Maharaj. So this was the personal servant of Jagannath Das Babaji. Okay. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta would wear only a pullover shirt. He struck me as having a serious nature. I was attracted by his effulgence and learning. He was always attached to the holy name. In his earlier years, his frame was very lean. Babaji Maharaj loved him dearly. Once a reputed Babaji noticed that Bimala had failed to pay him obeisance. When the Babaji asked Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur why this was so, he was told, because he does not offer dandavat to sahajiyas. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw in this son the potential to carry forward the propaganda work he had begun. Thus he took him on preaching engagements to holy places and to meet sadhus, and directed him to apply his scintillating intelligence in studying Vaishnava philosophy and doctrines opposed to it. Young Bimala took naturally to such training, osmotically imbibing his father's mood of full surrender to Krishna and compassionate desire to inspire Hari Bhakti in others. Osmotically means like by osmosis. You know how your lungs can get oxygen through the alveoli. Srila Bhaktivinoda also wanted that Bimala receive the best of secular education. The emerging Bengali Bhadraloka placed much importance on Western schooling as the key to success, prestige, and culture. For in those days, preceding mass education, degree holders were few, and there were marked differences between the educated and those with little or no schooling. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not enamored by worldly academics. He declared that materialistic knowledge converts the jiva into an ass. But he knew that if Bimala Prasad were to reach the leaders of society, he would have to be culturally attuned to them and be able to present Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message in a manner they could accept. So the Bengali for materialistic knowledge converts the jiva to an ass. From Sharanagati says, Jada Vidya Jivake Koraye Gadha. Bimala's formal education commenced at an English school in Ranaghat. Sorry, my eyes are... In September 1880, he was admitted to Oriental Cemetery in Calcutta. By age 7, he had memorized all the verses of Bhagavad Gita and could explain their meaning according to Vaishnava Siddhanta. By age 7, he knew all the verses and could explain their meaning. So, we were training the kids in Gurukula to learn all the Bhagavad Gita. And we were told Prabhupada, this child knows the whole Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada said, yes, can he explain it? Yeah. Then we had to go back to the drawing board. In 1883, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was transferred to Sri Ramapur, just outside Calcutta, and in October enrolled Bimala in the Union School there. In 1887, Bimala entered Metropolitan Institution in Calcutta, where he began to study Sanskrit grammar and Jyotisha. Yet his scholarly aptitude was focused on the spiritual rather than mundane. Joining many cultured men at weekly Sunday meetings of Thakur Bhaktivinoda's Vishva Vaishnava Sabha, he listened earnestly as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur lectured on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the manuscript of which Bimala carried to and from the assembly. In 1885, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur apportioned part of the Bhakti Bhavan for the Vaishnava Depository, which consisted of a library adjoined by a press called Sri Chaitanya Yantra, and thereupon resumed publication of Sajjanatoshini. He trained and engaged Bimala in all aspects of its printing and publishing, including editing, proofreading, typesetting, and operating the machines. Bimala even learned the mechanics of the presses, including detailed knowledge of all their components, and could diagnose and repair malfunctioning equipment. So this was 1885, and Bimala was born in 1878, right? 1874, okay. So he was 11, 12 years old, something like that. 10, 11, 12. In 1885, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also took Bhima along with other sons to visit a few places of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes in Bengal. Arriving late one evening on the outskirts of Kulinagram, a settlement whose former inhabitants were very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the father and sons were accorded repose in a temple. Next morning, upon entering the hamlet, they were asked by some local residents where they had come from and where they had spent the night. Upon hearing the answer, the village men amazedly asked, "How could you have slept? No one can stay there peacefully because it's haunted by a Brahma Rakshasa who pitches stones and brickbats at anyone passing by after dusk." Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur replied, "Yes, that ghost did try to disturb us, but I loudly chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and he went away." Learning that he was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, whom they had already knew of, some having read his books, the villagers became most obeisant and further questioned, "How did you quell that ghost by chanting Hare Krishna? Previously, he was the priest of that temple, and he chanted Hare Krishna throughout his life. How did he become a ghost, and how could your chanting expel him?" Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur told them that the priest must have vibrated only the syllables of the name, thus producing a physical, lip-deep sound lacking spiritual essence. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked about his character, they replied, "He was not good. He committed many sinful acts, but he used to recite Harinama almost constantly." Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur further explained why the priest could not have been truly chanting. Sinful people with the intention of acquiring wealth and reputation make a show of kirtan, but that is merely cheating. As stated in Srila Jagadananda Pandit's Prema Vivarta, "Asadhau sange bhai, Krishna nama nahe hoy, namashkara baharaya botte, nama kabhu noy." Those not in the association of authentic devotees cannot actually utter the holy names. Even though they may externally vibrate the sound Krishna, that is not actually the name of Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur went on explaining, the name of Krishna is not different from him, and thus completely pure and spiritual. Krishna Nama does not allow himself to be plundered by materialists. This man never actually chanted Hare Krishna, only Nam Aparad. Because of severe offenses to the holy name, he became a ghost. The men then asked, "Can he ever be released from that wretched condition?" Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "If he hears the real name or the proper explanation of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam from a bona fide sadhu who has genuine connection with Krishna, then he can be liberated from ghostly existence." Henceforth, all troubles caused by the spectre ceased. The villagers then realized that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was himself that caliber of exalted sadhu whose pure kirtan had the power not only to exorcise unyielding ghosts, but to deliver the entire universe from the maelstrom of material life. Jai Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Back in Calcutta, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur continued writing Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita and regularly read from that manuscript to Bimala and others. Bimala applied himself to his schooling, but concentrated more on studying the books of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, under whose guidance he also perused the Shat Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami and other Goswami literature. Hare Krishna, welcome. Haribol. The gang's all here.
Thank you for repeatedly asking everybody to speak on the microphone.
Oh, you heard it, huh? See, this is proof. A lot of people, they don't trust me, but I know that people are listening at home. And if they don't have the microphone, it just becomes like a hole in the program where you don't hear what's going on.
My computer too. I know.
He excelled in Jyotish, specializing in technical aspects of the science rather than in prediction. Jyotish is astrology, for those who don't know. And grasped the subject so thoroughly that he quickly outstripped many savants with decades of experience. During 1885, he invented a new phonetic system of writing called Bikanto or Vikrinti, which subsequently was lost. Bhakti Siddhanta, when he was in 1885, so he was 11 years old, he invented a new system of writing, a phonetic system of writing, but now it's become lost to history.
Is it Sanskrit?
Huh?
The phonetic system of writing was Sanskrit?
It doesn't say whether it was Sanskrit. It may have been Bengali, I don't know. Vikrinti. Bikanto or Vikrinti. Later, at age 12, he began studying the Upanishads under the tutelage of his Sanskrit professor. Bimala was becoming recognized as a nascent genius. Delighting in debates on many diverse subjects, his masterly command of knowledge and insight rendered him nigh undefeatable. And although generally respectful and polite towards his mentors, as was the norm in those days, he was so dedicated to truth that he could not brook any misleading statements or misrepresentations of fact in any field, and did not hesitate to expose insufficiencies in opposing positions, even if presented by honorable superiors. Mr. C. Little was a mathematics teacher assigned to teach physics to Bimala's class. He would read from the textbook 3 times, then say, "I think all of you can understand this." He kept a list of the first 3 students' names, and looking at the list would ask questions. One day, outside of class, he queried some students about the teachings of the Bible, knowing that most of them disliked having to learn it. But only Bimala was bold enough to pipe up. "In your scripture, prayers like 'Give us our daily bread' resemble the outlook of the Vidha Shaktayas in this country. The Supreme Lord is the object of devotion, not the servant of us who have turned from him. Those who take his name, wanting him to serve them, have no devotion in their hearts." In 1888, Bimala Prasad started translating from Sanskrit to Bengali 2 classical astronomical treatises, Siddhanta Shiromani, which he completed and published in 1893, and in 1896, Surya Siddhanta, with its original Sanskrit verses and his own Bengali rendition. Recognizing his extraordinary proficiency and contributions in both the Eastern and Western systems of astrology and astronomical calculations, specifically for his initial unpublished work on Surya Siddhanta, his tutors Pandit Mahesh Chandra Chudamani and Pandit Sundaralal conferred upon him the title Sri Siddhanta Sarasvati when he was just 15 years old. With trademark punch, his foreword to Surya Siddhanta delivered his abhorrence toward dilution and distortion of Shastriya truth. And this is Bhakti Siddhanta's writing. We're ready for the Pushpanjali. Well, we're going to read something written by Bhakti Siddhanta, and it goes for like 2 pages, okay? So this is from his foreword to Surya Siddhanta. From time immemorial, Indians have been reputed among non-Indians as being well-versed in different types of sciences. Western scholars unanimously consider India the birthplace of mathematics. Upon studying the primeval reference books, Indologists marvel at the unlimited research found in the mathematically based Jyotish Shastra of ancients of India. Among the 18 most respected of such astronomical manuscripts of Hori India, Sri Surya Siddhanta is unanimously accepted as the oldest. Negligence has pushed this book to the verge of oblivion. Indians have always been lackadaisical about protecting the unbroken glory of their ancestors, and I do not expect that they will give up on that upon the words of someone like myself. Nevertheless, being driven in my conscience, I take pleasure in presenting this version of the text along with a translation, devoting myself with utmost effort for the benefit of today's Jyotishis and laics, even though I am incapable of effectively doing so. At present, the majority of persons reputed as learned are averse to Shastriya understanding. They shamelessly promote themselves as knowledgeable in Shastra, even if totally unaware of its contents. The disease has taken the form of aversion and inordinate desire for honor. This evil has engulfed the Jyotirthas, and resultingly their work is incomplete and short-sighted. Jyotirtha is an expert in astronomical calculations, particularly those for determining timings for yagyas, festivals, oblations, rituals, and so on. I have brought out this tradition of Sri Surya Siddhanta with the hope of attracting the attention of really intelligent thinkers toward the study of astronomy. The Jyotirthas spend most of their life avidly expanding their bellies and have completely stopped cultivating the complex knowledge of mathematical Jyotish Shastra received in Guru Parampara. Additionally, they take the help of tables provided in different reference books, and without ever reading or even seeing Sri Surya Siddhanta, they continually quote it to defend their wrong calculations. By considering how many of them have even seen Sri Surya Siddhanta, we would become extremely disappointed were we able to make a list of their names. Nowadays in India, a new brand of worshippers of Siddhanta has cropped up who laud newly invented Siddhantas and care not for the tradition based on Surya Siddhanta. Although inexperienced and incomplete in their learning, these creators of Siddhantas are busily increasing their prestige by promoting themselves as pundits even before they have begun studying Jyotish Shastra. The main types include logicians, experts in public works, persons who deem themselves authorities in standard mathematics, individuals desiring to attain honor who are proficient in promoting newfangled theories, and those who have mastered books by celebrated Jyotishas written for students. Among them, some follow only the chapter of Bhaskaracharya Siddhanta Shiromani that discusses mathematical calculations. Some have received from their gurus a few formulas of the Western astronomers obtained as translations, and on that basis seek honor as astronomers while thinking themselves as genuine disciples of their gurus. Others, although ignorant of even solstice calculations, prefer to follow a particular independent-minded Western astronomer. I hope that by reading this original version they become submissive to their own gurus, to their predecessor gurus of Bhaskar and others, and to him who give intelligence to them all, the Rishi, who is the author of Sri Surya Siddhanta, and thus their internal burning pride may be extinguished. I have more to say about this, which will come in another essay. Some consider themselves experts in the mathematical calculations of Surya Siddhanta, and from time to time exhibit that by publishing their calculations and claiming that on the basis of their genuine abilities and studies in their logic, other sciences, they are competent to reform astronomy. May Bhagavan bring them to the right path and grant them faith in Dharma. They are comparable to a Muslim magistrate's impudently criticizing the Arya system of charity, thus transgressing his qualification and jurisdiction. Whatever the case may be, I present this translation with adequate examples for the benefit of those muddled egoists and for the general beginners in astronomy. So are we having arti to the deities now? Pushpanjali. Okay, so I'll stop there for now. We should all buy copies of this book. We have, how many copies are available?
We have hundreds of them. Yeah. So right now I have about five spare copies. Yeah.
We have 5 spare copies.
We have 5 here, and then 6 are more in my car. So total 11 sets of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta.
Also, I want to remind, last week Charlene got a Chaitanya Charitamrita. Do you have a copy for her? Yes. Okay. So we make sure that you take that home today. Get from Sri Krishna Purushottama. Make sure you get that today before you go home. And those who want, you should buy this book. It's a great book. It really, reading this book, you can see how much fun it is. We're just in the beginning of the first chapter, and as I said, there's a chronological description of the life of Bhakti Siddhanta. Then there are topical descriptions of different aspects of his life and his preaching work. And even in the end, there are several chapters on his disciples, his prominent disciples, and his associates, giving something about his life and times, as they say, the people that were there. And yes, Sri Krishna Purushottama.
Usually it is maybe it's $100 plus.
Usually it's $100, but today only.
75.
Today only, they're going for the special price because it's his birthday. In this tradition, some people have the tradition that on your birthday you get presents, but other people have the tradition that on your birthday you give, right? So on Bhakti Siddhanta's birthday, we can get the authorized biography of Bhakti Siddhanta for only $75 and save $25 off the manufacturer's suggested retail price.
And also Maharaj spent more than 20 years writing that book.
This book, Maharaj spent more than 20 years, well, you heard it, researching and writing this book and refining it and editing it. It's a very nice book, and so we should at least sell 5 copies today, and then you can go on reading it. So you don't have to stop after we go home today. You can read it all night, or you can read it every year, and it's really great. So, where's our Do we start with, do we sing the Guru Puja?
Actually, we're going to have Pushpanjali, so you're going to recite it.
Just to recite the Pushpanjali,
Then after that, we'll have Guru Puja.
and afterwards we'll sing the Guru Vashtaka song, right? Okay. So in your blue books, everyone, take these blue books out here. If you don't have one, you can get one. There's more in the cabinet. And there are pranam prayers listed in the second yellow tab, or as Vaishasika reminds us, the Meyer lemon yellow tab. And so these have the. We're gonna read through all of these together first, and then we'll chant Bhakti Siddhanta's pranams. Yeah. So don't throw all your flowers at once, because we have three times. Yeah, wait until they're ready, and then everyone should. Okay, I'll do the. Or I'll sing. Yeah, but it's small. It's manageable, wide. So it's a little box. You can see it. It comes on your bookshelf. It takes up like this much space. It's small. It's the small edition, so it won't be too much. You're getting a treasure. The Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhakti Siddhanta said that people would learn to speak Bengali so they could read this Chaitanya Charitamrita in the original language. So don't worry. You're getting something really good. Please repeat after me. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitang Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandehang Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So we'll skip the 8 verses glorifying Prabhupada, and we'll go right to the other pranams of other previous acharyas. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kriptabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambhode Padambhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvang Nirdeshta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktaavatarang Bhaktakyang Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatang Surato Pangur Mama Mandamater Gati Matsarvasvapadam Bhojao Radha Madana Mohanao Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastao Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devao Preshtali Bhik Sevyamanao Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vangshi Vatatatastitaha Karshan Venusvanair Gopir Gopinathak Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Kaishavasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Shri Nishringha Jaya Nishringha Jaya Jaya Nishringha Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Matsamo Nasti Papatma Naparadhi Chakaschana Parihare Pilajame King Bruve Purushottama Yuvati Nang Yatha Yuni Yunang Cha Yuvatau Yatha Manobhiramate Tadvan Manome ramatang tvayi Bhumaus kalita padanang Bhumireva valambanam Tvayi jata paradhanam Tvam eva sharanang prabho Govinda Vallabhe Radhe Prartaye Tvamahang Sada Tadiyam iti janatu Govindo Mang Tvaya Saha Radhe Vrindavanadhishe Karunamrita Vahini Kripaya Nijapadabja Dasyang Mahyang Pradiyatam Vande Nanda Brajastrinam Padarenum Abhikshnashaha Yasang Harikatod Gitang Punati Bhavanatrayam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Pushpanjali. Now everyone pay obeisances after offering flowers. Save some because you have to have 3 times. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. And let's do Bhakti Siddhanta too. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Namine Krishna Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virodhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Pushpanjali. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dhvantaharine Pushpanjali Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada. Sangsara-dava nalalida loka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam Praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya Praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Baditra Madhyan Manasorasena Romanchakam Pashrutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Again, I go, Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam, Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Shri Vigraha Radhana Nityanana Shringaratan Mandiramarjanado Yuktasya Bhaktang Shaniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasado Swadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sanghan. Kritvaiva Tripting Bhajatak Sadaiva. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. Madhurya Lila Shri Radhika Madhavayora Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Nam Nam. Pratikshana Swadhana Lolupasya. Pratikshana Swadhana Lolupasya. Vande Guru Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Nikunjayuno Ratikeli Siddhyai Yayali Bhi Yuktira Pikshaniya. Nikunjayuno Ratikeli Siddhyai Yayali Bhi Yuktira Pikshaniya. Tatrati Dakshat Ativallabhasya. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Sakshadharitve samasta shastra uktasthatha bhavyata eva shadhi. Sakshadharitvena samasta shastra uktasthatha bhavyata eva shadhi. Kintu prabhurya priya eva tasya. Kintu prabhurya priya eva tasya. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. Dhyayang stuvang tasya yashashri santam. Dhyayang stuvang tasya yashashri santam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Pri Rajakacharya Stotara Satashishimad, His Divine Grace of Haya Charanaravinda Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Pri Rajakacharya Stotara Satashishimad, His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyamakund Radha Kunikri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Gangamai Jamunamai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. Transcendental Appearance Day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtana Ki Jai. Harinama Prabhu Ki Jai. ISKCON Silicon Valley Yatra Ki Jai. Shri Radha Madana Mohan Ki Jai. Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol.
Akruranatha Prabhu ji ki
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadadadhayine. Hiranyakashipa Hiranyakashipavakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Yito nasimha parato nasimha Yito nasimha parato nasimha Yato yato yami tato nasimha Bahe nasimha hridaye nasimha Bahe nasimha hridaye nasimha Narasinghamadim sharanam prapati Narasingamadim sharanam prapati Tava kara kamalavare naka Adbhuta shringa Dalita hiranyakashipo Tanu bringa Keshavadrita narari rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Keshavadrita narahari rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jaya Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Prahlad Maharaj 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe, Jaya Radha Madan Jaya Nittai Gauranga, Nittai Gauranga, Nittai Gauranga, Gaura Hari.
Yesterday was my mother-in-law's 12th day of her departure. So we'll like to wish all the Vaishnavas to please pray. It's very the 12th day is significant because the soul now moves and takes on the next journey. So request all the Vaishnavas to in India, all those things. So we'll request all the Vaishnavas to please pray for her. Her name is Padma Devidas. Padma Devi. Thank you.
Any other announcements before Prashad prayers?
One more thing.
I can't even do it.
We wanted to just let the devotees who are actually in the temple listening via phone as well as on internet know that the character number of characters which can go on our $1 million wall tile has been finalized. So you can start sending the message, and the time is ticking now. We need to collect what you want to have inscription in those tiles in next week or two. So that so total number of characters including spaces will be around 130. So that's a lot of text. Yeah. So if you can put it close to around 120, it is also okay, though the maximum length can go around 130. So please reach out to isvnewtemple@gmail.com with your inscriptions details, and we'll be glad to help. And then we'll be setting up tables from Sunday onwards to collect the details. And then you can contact Hitendra Prabhu or me for if you want to get more details. And then the character should be only in English. We decided that the inscription will be there only on English. Yeah.
So no Devanagari.
No Devanagari.
No Telugu script.
Yeah. So only on English, so we can write, say for example, like Roman dialect, say for example, if you want to put some shloka or so, we'll still write it in English form. So that's some consideration for everybody. Thank you so much.
Can they make the Balaram font where they have the diacritical marks? Or?
We can check on that. Yeah, we can.
They could, because it's a computer now.
Yeah, and in case you are feeling left over that you have not donated in the last few weeks or months, you can definitely come forward. We need your support. We need your help in moving for the new temple. And Prabhu, you want to talk about when we are planning to move for the new temple?
I can't say too much or my wife would kill me. No, we're trying very hard, but we've run into some snags now, actually, a little bit. Everything's been going very, very smoothly. The way they installed some of the wood floors doesn't look right. Jagarini wasn't happy with the way the ceiling was going in. I'll tell you some updates. When we were there the other day, they delivered the big sink for the kitchen. Now all the kitchen equipment is in. They delivered the big sink, and we brought it into the kitchen. We could realize that, Hare Krishna, Prabhu Krishna Sundar is going. Okay. Take some prasad before you leave, or stick around. Okay. So the sink was 10 feet long. It was 3 compartments and 2 side, drains. And each compartment was 24 inches by 24 inches. It was too big to fit in the space. Somehow the architect had not drawn it right. There was a little jog in the wall, and it was going to go under the window. So we couldn't. So we had to send that back and get a kitchen sink, the main sink, with 3 compartments. Because they have to be 3 compartments, because that's the way the plans were approved and everything. So they're 18 inches by 18 inches. So can't maybe not be able to get the big huge pots down into the sink, but we've got the spray thing anyway. So we got that so that it would fit. So I wasn't there yesterday, but Jagarini was there yesterday. So then they brought the other sink, and they had a smaller sink, and they brought the new smaller sink that would fit on that side. and it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same manufacturer. It wasn't as nice. The sinks that Jagarini had gotten have nice sort of rounded corners, and they were, and this one was more square, and it had kind of a soldery-looking seam and stuff like that on these square corners. And Jagarini had to call them back and argue with them until they admitted. At first they said, well, we don't understand. You said the other sink was too big, this and that. They tried to sort of talk her into taking it. And then they said, oh, yes, we can give you an 18-inch square sink like that made by the same manufacturer so that it matches. We didn't think you would mind or whatever. So we've got all the equipment there. The tilt brazier, they were able to get it into the kitchen. The tilt kettle is one giant thing, and it won't fit through the doors. So now they're trying to think, how do we get it in? So Jagarini suggested, and they're thinking they might be able to do it, is they're going to get their glazer to take out the window from the kitchen and then bring it up through the front. And they've measured it, and they think it should fit, although it'll be hard to, carry it through. But they think they should be able to get it in through that window opening into the kitchen. The stove, they've had the stove. In fact, the kitchen guy was telling me, I've had these things here for a while now. I want to get them, out of my warehouse and into your kitchen. When they brought the stove and they finally took it out of the box, it was dented. So they decided that the dent was something that was happened at the manufacturers or something like that. So anyway, they have another stove, the same stove, on hand, they said, and they're going to bring it in on Monday. But Jagarini wasn't happy. I was kind of, and Carlos was there with me the other day. They have, for the ceiling, they have a T-bar, and they have a heavy-duty, like a gypsum, because it's fireproof. It's like a heavy-duty sheetrock that they use on the top, not the typical sort of acoustic tiles that they use on, you see all over on this ceilings when you see those little flimsy tiles with holes in them. So they were going to do the whole temple with all the ceilings that had those T-bar ceilings, those drop-down ceilings, which are convenient because if you have to get up into the duct work or the electrical work, and we have got the whole place wired for these, internet projection, everything, speakers and everything like that with the right kind of wires. It's good to have one of those T-bar ceilings that you can just pop up the panels. But they were doing it all in the heavy gyprock that was in the kitchen. So Jagarini was looking at it, and she didn't like the look of it. She said it doesn't look neat. It maybe not so much the rock material that they were using, but the way they set up the T-bars. She was saying, hey, it's not really neat. So they've run into some little snags. So the plan was, and hopefully still is, that on Wednesday the inspectors will come out for the final inspection, although they're going to want to see it painted, and the painters aren't going to come out on Wednesday, so I don't know if they're ready to do that yet. The painters will be coming out maybe on Thursday or Friday, according to the plan, and the whole place will be painted. And so it's getting down to the final things, but we may have to have them redo some floors, and but even after that inspection with the city inspectors, then they're going to do some other things that they hadn't put on their plans for the permits, but like to build the altar room, it's going to be a little off the floor, and some other things like that. So we were hoping to make this big, hard final push and be able to actually celebrate Gaur Purnima at the new temple. Maybe not everything would be there yet, but we were hoping to get the deities there for Gaur Purnima. In fact, the plan is, I forgot to do that today. The plan was that I should give notice to Nick that we have 30 days. We're leaving here at the end of March, and so we wouldn't be paying rent here in April. That saves $4,800 or something like that. So I should go over to see if I can talk to Nick now, and then I'll send him something in writing later today, because today is the 2nd of March, right? And so I should have done that yesterday, but or even the day before. But it looks like there are some, she's got a fabricator now. There's GBC resolutions that say, stop me if I'm boring you all, but I wanted to get you all know. There's GBC resolutions that say that, the deities, you're not supposed to have the deities just open like this. Because sometimes the temples, the deities will be open, but the devotees will be away and some stranger may walk in. So the GBC resolutions require a grate, some kind of a metal cage that prevents people from walking onto the altar that aren't authorized. So Jagarini and Adi, Nanduri, and Driti and some others were struggling about how to do it and how to get a gate. They have, like in Berkeley, they have one that rolls up into the ceiling, but it's got a crank and it's difficult, and sometimes it doesn't come up evenly, and there's other ones that roll back into the sides and stuff. So she actually got a metal fabricator who's building a gate with sort of nice, like sort of flower decorations, like a Spanish style, something, whatever, and a steel gate that will fold. It'll have like 3 panels that you fold up, and they fold back into a pocket on the sides. And the altar room itself hasn't been built yet because it has to be built after inspections. So it may be a little bit ambitious to think that we're actually going to have everything done and be able to celebrate Gaur Purnima there, because there have been a few little snags like that. But she's getting these things done. She said they had to, the inspector said that he wants to make everything fire safe so that people can run out in a fire. So there's a kind of panic hardware that you put on doors so that you could just nudge against it and it'll open. And so we have to put some of those doors in the front entranceway. And then he said that the gate, there's a wrought iron gate in the front of the patio area where the tile wall is going to be. And that wrought iron gate was, it had some hardware on the sides and everything. He said this has to be 36 inches per code, and it has to have panic hardware on it. So they measured it, and it wasn't 36 inches. So we thought, oh no, now we're going to have to tear the bricks down out of that wall to widen the gate. But as it turned out, the bricks were 36 inches. So it was just that, but because the gate was installed inside the bricks is what made it a little too small. So they got a new gate with panic hardware and everything, and they installed it outside of the bricks, on the outside of the bricks. And I haven't seen it yet, but Jagarini said it looks really nice. And we have doors, the doors for in between the rooms and everything. We have these wooden doors with 6 panels on each of them, and they're pretty good, solid doors, but they're old and they're, they don't look nicely finished and everything like that. So Jagarini hired a wood finishing expert, and he said, I'll do one as a sample for you, and I'll show you what I can do. And she said it looks really beautiful, but he wants $290 per door. So 16 doors, it's expensive, but she really wants to get it done. Yeah. Prashadam is getting cold, okay. So anyway, if you all want more updates about the temple construction, a lot's been going on. Jagarini is working day and night on this stuff. She's not available for me to have a secretary in my law office anymore. So let's sing the Prashadam prayers. Sharira avidyaja jadendriya tahika jive pele bishaya shagare tarmaje jivayati tanamoy sudurmati take jata katina samsare Krishna Bora Doyamai Kori Bade Jiva Joy Saprashad Anna Dilo Bhai Shayanamrita Pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Primedako Chaitanya Tai Sankti Pure Prabhu Advaitera Gare Dui Prabhu Bhojana Boshila Shakori Ashwadana Prabhu Bole Bhakta Gana Esha Krishna Ashwadilo Heno Shakashwadane Krishna Prema Aishe Manne She Preme Koro Ashwadana Hari Puri Pari Hari Prasad Bhojana Kori Hari Bolo Sarvajan. Hari Hari Bolo Sarvajan. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punya Vatam Rajan Vishvaso Naiva Jayate Prasade Sarva Dukkana Hani Rasyopajayate Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Buddhik Paryavatishtate Bhagavad Prasadam Ki Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Ki Jai. Please come take prasadam. So really this temple project, though, we do need everybody who's pledged to give their money in now. It's getting to the end, and we have all these more things that have to be paid for. Hopefully, Guru Purnima, everyone's going to bring their pocketbooks. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan.